One of the most important tools for me when I'm in the shop working on cars is having a good quality jump pack. This also goes for stuff on the road if I'm headed to the racetrack. An added bonus for me is a jump pack that also has an air compressor function built into it. I do a lot of drifting, so having something that can pump up tires on the go is super, super helpful. I was just sent this, the ePower 177. It comes with a nice case here, and then inside of it you've got the jump box, and then the top section you've got cables and the air compressor hose. This is a 25,000 mAh lithium ion jump pack. It also has a light function to it, and then you got your air compressor here. So it's a pretty standard kind of a thing these days. There's a bunch of different options that you can get on Amazon or wherever else, but this is the one that I'm going to be using because they sent it to me. It has 5 different functions on the front of it. The top one is going to be your power, and you can see there's the charge level. You also have a couple, like a cycle button. This one is your light button, and then you've got a plus and minus, which comes into play when you're using it for the air compressor. I think all the buttons are kind of a press and hold kind of a function, so I'm going to press and hold it here, there. Okay, now it's got my bar for inflating tires. Now, I don't really want to use bar as my pressure setting, so I'm going to press the next button, which kind of has a bunch of arrows in a circle, and change it to just the general. Also, there's your tire, or there's your basketball, all the different lights for what they are, but I'm just gonna go to PSI, and then you can use the plus and minus buttons down here to change the pressure. I inflate tires to 40 PSI in my drift car, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna set it at most of the time. Automatically shuts off when it reaches your target pressure, but this, ooh, that's hot, so we can let that cool off a little bit before I disconnect it. The middle button here is actually a light button. Let's see if I can get it to turn on. There you go. You just press and hold it and it turns on. It's kind of the same thing for most things on this. I think you press and hold to turn it on or off. It can also function as a power supply. So under this top cover here, you've got 2 outs and in. That's where the charger goes. You can see you have 2 different USB outs and then a USB-C charging port. Down here is where you connect your jumper leads. Jump starting your car with this is relatively simple. You just press the power button so it's turned on. You're going to connect your leads. Connect the leads to your battery. And then we can start the car. Then come up here and disconnect your leads. All done. Long term, I'm really excited to test this out and see how it holds up. But in the short term, I already jump started my car a couple times. And then I've also used the tire inflator or the air compressor function on my car. And I inflated a couple of small tires, so a 205 50 15, 15-inch wheel, really small tires, from dead flat to 40 PSI. And it took about 5 minutes to go from 0 to 40. There's a little warning on it that tells you not to run it for longer than 8 minutes without letting it cool down. I would actually let it run a shorter amount of time to let it cool down, because at 5 minutes, the hose gets really hot and really warm to the touch. But that's, running from 0 to 40 PSI is kind of putting it through its paces. The 1 to 20 PSI took about 1 minute each for 10 PSI, and then after that started to slow down a little bit, but it did reach to 40 PSI at 5 minutes. I'll put a link in the video description below if this is something you're interested in purchasing or using. Like I said, this is just another tool that I recommend having at the racetrack with you, or in your to-go bag of tools in case you break down or whatever else, or just to have around the shop. If you've got a bunch of vehicles, it's nice having a jump pack ready to go to jumpstart cars when they're a little low on battery power.